Hey, what's up guys? It's Leon from Team Disciples. This weekend the team went to the 200th YCS in Utrecht. Didn't do too well in the main event, but ended up entering the Mega LLDS on the Sunday because I hadn't qualified for stage 2 and wound up winning the whole thing. So we played 6 rounds of Swiss and I ended with a record of X01. First round I played against True Draco, second round was Pure Sky Striker, third round was Pure Sky Striker, fourth round was Autogas, which was against a fellow member of our locals. Shout out to you, Massimiliano, for the interactive game that we had, ended in a draw. Fifth and sixth round was Pure Sky Striker, ended in a record of X01. So both me and Massimiliano was undefeated at the end of the tournament, and we both ended first and got the first place prizes, which was probably the best result for both of us. So let me go into the deck profile. I've decided to play Mekk-Knight Invoked. So to start off with the engine cards, we have 3 Alistair, 3 Meltdown, 2 Terraforming, and 3 Invocation. This is an Invoked deck, and I feel like it's important to see your Invoked engine. The deck relies quite greatly on seeing Alistair, and it becomes really awkward when you don't. So it's a must to max out on it. 3 Invocation is also important because hard drawing it makes your Alistair summons more resilient to hand traps, so that even if they stop it, you already have the Invocation to keep going on with your plays. And also, if they do end up stopping your Alistair, then top decking any of these cards will get you back into the game, and maxing out on it will give you a greater chance of doing that. So onto the hand chats, we have 3 Ash, 3 Gamma with the 1 Driver, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. Play Ash because it's the most versatile hand trap, stops a lot of powerful cards in the game right now, and it's also your fire attribute for Purgatrio. We've got 3 Gamma and Driver because I felt like in the past I was losing a lot of games to play as Ash in my Meltdown and not allowing me to get to Alistair, so I wanted to play a hand trap that will punish them from doing that. It also stops Drone Lock Bird, which will stop us from OTKing for the turn, and this will allow us to push in for that extra 3/5 of damage, as well as extend to our link plays to push through the OTK, and then 3 Infinite Impermanence to not only stop our opponent on their first turn, but also allow us to out floodgates on our turn by setting it in the same column. And now for the turbo cards, you want to see one of these cards along with Alistair to be able to make the Alistair link and OTK. So we'll start off with the Mekk-Knights with 3 purple, 2 blue, and 1 indigo. Then we've got the Sky Striker cards with 3 engage and 1 drones, and then finally 3 instant fusion. So you play 3 purple because it has the best stats out of the Mekk-Knights, and also it can dodge card effects in order to search your Mekk-Knights, which can be very powerful in the grind game. We got 2 blue, which also searches out your other Mekk-Knights. It has the lowest stats, so it's typically the one that you use to link off with the Alistair to make the Alistair link. And the 1 indigo, it's very important to play indigo because you want to have that 3rd summon of the Mekk-Knight, and it's very relevant for getting that last damage or that last link material in order for the in order to OTK. Its move effect's also good because you can move out the way in order to summon more Mekk-Knights, and it could also comes up in an OTK with Decode Talker, where you summon it under the Decode Talker and move it to the pointer that Decode Talker points to in order to make its attack 3/3 in order to OTK along with a Mecha Ball or a Purgatrio. And then we've got the 1 drones. Drones going to 1 did hurt the deck quite a bit, but it's still too powerful to cut it, so we played a 3 engage to increase the consistency of seeing drones. Drones being the 1 card Alistair link, as well as being a fire and win attribute for you to fuse with. And finally on to instant fusion. It's one of the most versatile cards in the deck. It's not only a starter but also extender and removal. Not only is it's a starter by allowing you to summon Raijin to link with your Alistair to make the Alistair link. An extender in the sense of if your Alistair gets hand trapped and you're not able to get to your Invocation, if you can still make the link, you can activate instant fusion, which will trigger a fusion summon for your link to be able to search the Invocation and continue on with your plays. And also if Magical Meltdown's on the field, then the instant fusion cannot be negated, so you can instant fuse into a board full of negates, summon Raijin, and on the summon that he cannot respond to, you flip one of the monsters face down to prevent them from negating your Alistair summon, as well as summoning a Thousand Eyes Restrict to equip the Sky Striker link monster to it and not allow the raid to float. And for the final fusion card, we've got fresh off the ban list, the Super Polymerization. This card is really good for helping your Alistair dodge Widow Anchors and Infinite Impermanences, as well as stealing their monster and allowing you to make a fusion summon. It's also dodges Drow Reincarnation, because Trickstar players will typically wait for Invocation Search to activate Reincarnation, at which point you can chain the Super Poly, fusing the Alistair and their light monster into a Mekk-Knight, and they won't be able to respond to the Super Poly, so they can't join and lock guard you. I found this card a bit 50-50 at times, because we also play other discard outlets like Twin Twisters in the main, so discarding with Super Poly, discarding with Twin Twisters, sometimes you don't have enough cards to discard with the link, which is the most important part for searching invocations to continue your plays to OTK. So I'll probably cut this for maybe a Pot of Desires or the third blues. So we played a free Twin Twister because the most prevalent decks at the YCS was Altergeist, Pure Sky Striker and True Draco, and losing to Floodgates, losing to Widow Anchors back row, you want to clear out the way and just go for game. And finally, Too Cool by the Graves. Just helps your plays more resilient to Hound Traps, being able to negate the Ash but drawing a lot bad, which would otherwise stop your turn. It's also quite a good card going first, being able to negate cards like Ray when they tribute, or Altergeist cards from searching. So yeah, that's the main deck, 40 cards. Okay, for the extra deck, you got the tokens, of course. Okay, so for Link 4s, we got the Broadsword Dragon. This card coming to the game made sure OTK is way more resilient, gave you a lot more OTK options, and is very easy to summon in the deck. You got Nightmare Unicorn for removal. They barely summon this card throughout the whole tournament, but it's just there as an option when it might come up. Decode Talker also there for the OTKs, becoming 3300 when it has 2 monsters pointing to it. It's just the amount of damage you need just to be able to go for game with for open board with it pointing to maybe Mekk-Knight or Purgatrio or Mekk-Knight and a Mekk-Knight. Alistair, this card coming into the game gave the deck so many more plays, so many more ways to search Invocation, and so many more ways to fusion spam, because its effect is not once per turn. So you only play one, because when you summon this game, when you summon this card, you're typically going for game. And if your OTK doesn't go through, and they'll most likely be on low life, and from then you should be able to grind it out with a Mekk-Knight. Then we play 1 Phoenix and 1 Cerberus. These are just for utility. Barely summon them also, but Phoenix was there to pop certain floodgates like Anti-Spell and Imperial Order, and Cerberus for cards like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, Naruto, Darklaw, but barely summon them, but they was just there just in case. And finally the Sky Striker cards, Kagari and Hayate. Kagari for the combo, adding back the drones and going into the Alistair link, plus being a fire for Purgatrio. And Hayate can come up in time, they attack directly effect. It also points down, and it's a win for Raijin. And now for the Invoked fusions, we have 2 Mekk-Knight, your main fusion. Great in the grind game, being able to negate spells, monsters or traps. 1 Purgatrio for the OTKs. 1 Cocytus, very awkward for decks like Sky Striker or Altergeist to get over. So for games when you don't have the OTK, you can sit on this and try and stall until you get enough cards to be able to push through. 1 Raijin, instant fusion target, your main piece to link with Alistair to be able to make the Alistair link, as well as being able to flip monsters face down. Caligar, this was in the deck to be able to banish the Ray for the Sky Striker's graveyard and stop it from floating, so for when you're going for your OTK. 1000 Extra Strict for removal, and also instant fusion targets. And now for the side deck, we have 2 Hatronade. This is mainly in the deck for pure Sky Striker matchup and Trickstars, just to clear the back row and then go for game. We've got 2 Shared Ride for when I'm made to go first, and then the Afterburner and Widow Anchor. These are in the side just for decks that summon Floodgate monsters that I might need to out. Also the Widow Anchor I usually siding going first, so I have something to search with the engage that can potentially slow down my opponent. Then we've got a 3 evenly match for Draco and Autogeist and all those back row decks, just to clear the back row and then try and push the next turn. 3 strikes for when I made to go first, just the best trapped for stopping plays. negating summons, negating effects, and then 3 red reboot for back row decks like Orgeist and Draco. Activating this card to negate all their traps and then just OTK them. So in one of my rounds during the tournament, I opened up with quite an awkward hand, and I was trying to figure out a way to OTK my opponent because I made him go first and he just passed on an empty board. During that match I completely messed up the OTK, but after thinking about it I realised that I could have actually done it better, so I just wanted to quickly show you. This is what like a majority of the OTKs look like, but this is like probably one of the most awkward hands to do it with. So we activate Magical Meltdown to search Alistar, summon Alistar in order to search Invocation. Then we activate Instant Fusion, summoning, Thousand Eyes Restrict. You can set the Invocation in the same column in order to special summon the Indigo, and then use that and the Restrict to link into the Alistar link. And then we activate the Invocation, banishing the Alistar and the Mekk-Knight in order to summon Mekk-Knight. We trigger the Alistar link's effect, discarding one of the dead cards in order to search an Invocation, and your opponent can't respond to this because Magical Meltdown is on the field because it's in response to the fusion summon. And then we activate the Invocation Engrave, shuffling it back into our deck to add Alistar back to our hand. Then we activate the second Invocation, Fusion, Alistar, and Thousand Eyes into Kaliga, triggering the Alistar link effect again, so since it's not once per turn, discarding the other dead card, and then another Invocation to our hand. And then we can link 2, 3, 4 into Brotherhood, and then activate the final Invocation in order to summon the second Mekk-Knight. And then we have 2, 5, 3,000 activated effective defense, and 3,000 for game. So this is an OTK that I did against the majority of my matchups most of the time, and this is like, it's a lot easier with Mekk-Knights and cards on their side of the field because you'll be searching with Sky Striker cards, but there you go. Well, that's the deck profile, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I managed to show you something new with the deck. Just want to give a shout out to my team, the Disciples, especially Marcus for making it to the top 64 of the 200th YCS. Shout out to my locals, the Brotherhood, best locals in London. Bunch of great players, great vibes. Shout out to Michael for always hosting the best tournaments, both fun and competitive with the best prizing. And shout out to Jamie, gracing the team with his talents, always providing us with the best quality. I really appreciate all the support that both of you guys have shown for the team, and that's it, guys. I'll see you at the next YCS. Thanks for watching.